Went to the church in the morning and I was about getting out of the car when I saw my friend. I saw a car that came to drop somebody, Toyota Corolla. And then some people got out of the car. As he wanted to turn, another car that was coming rammed into the guy. And then the bumpers were scattered. And then he came out, he was looking devastated. He didn't even know where to start from. So when I looked and I saw him, he happens to be one of my friends. So I walked up to him and I tapped him. I told him to calm down. And he said, today, the 1st of June. Is this how I'm going to start the month? I told him to calm down. That is a temporary situation and is subject to change. Today is what? Today is what? What's today's date? Today is the 10th of June. Sitting down here, he just sent me a message. He has finished reworking the car. He even had to change the front grille, that the car looks better than it was when the accident. And I sent a message, how are you feeling? He smiled. Why did I bring up this talk? The things we see, they are temporal, they are subject to change. If I had allowed him that day and then he might have opened his mouth and might have said a lot of things. Some people even go to the extent of fighting. Looking at the car now and looking at what he might have done, how he might have reacted, I strongly believe he would have regretted some of the actions. And so I want to talk briefly on something. Who are we really? Who is Okey Udeichi? Who is Francis Akwari? Who is Amarachi Wang? Who is Collins Hamisi? We are not our circumstances. We are not the situations we're experiencing. There is who we are. And we shouldn't allow circumstances determine who we are. We shouldn't allow circumstances give us a name. Because all those things, they are temporal. They are subject to change. A seed that is on the ground is buried. Nobody knows the capacity. The mango tree we have out there for quite some time was on the ground. People might even be walking past it. Nobody will know. But today, for years, that tree has been standing there. I see children, school children, as they are going by, they stand and they are plucking mango. He gives shade to Muhammad and his people. But at a point in time, that same seed was on the ground, buried, insignificant. Would you now classify that seed as something that is useful because you have not started enjoying the fruit from it? That is the same way it applies to us as human beings. We are all work in progress. And so we shouldn't allow the current situation give us a name. We shouldn't allow it determine who we are. We shouldn't allow it. Always think futuristic. Sometimes I want to take some actions and I ask myself, this action that I want to take, when the platform opens up and I am speaking at the world platform, will I be comfortable that I made this kind of decision? And so when you know where you're going or you have an idea of where you're going, it guides your decision-making processes. It guides your decision-making processes. Some days ago, I was driving past where I used to live at 41 Olufemi, where I used to run from Mr. Demola when he calls and calls and calls. When he comes into the compound and I hear his voice, I switch off my phone. I lock the door and I form deaf and dumb. He'll call and call and call. He'll say, I'm Mr. Okey no day. Meanwhile, I'm hearing him because I'm running away from a yearly rent of 200,000. I was driving past that day. They put it up and a thought entered my heart. Why don't you tell Mr. Demola that you want to buy this house? Because I think they wanted a developer. But for more than 1 year, it is still there. So why don't you reach out to Mr. Demola and ask them if they want to buy this, if they want to sell this house? You bid for it. And if it works out, you buy it. But at a point in time, I was running away from 200K. At a point in time, I paid the 200K 4 times, 50,000. But that wasn't who I am. So if at that point I should take some decisions based on the circumstance on ground, today I might be regretting some of them. So let's think futuristic. Let's look at the future. There's always a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture. This morning I was looking at Psalm 4 verse 1, and I want to read it. It says, "Answer me when I call, O God of my righteousness, uprightness, justice, and right standing with you." He said, "You have freed me when I was hemmed in, and enlarged me when I was in distress." He said, "You have freed me when I was hemmed in." Sometimes situations hem us in. You look to the right, no way out. You look to the left, no way out. You look to the front, no way out. You look to the back, no way out. Early in the morning, as the rays of the new day, you're praying in your heart, "God, can you turn the hand of the clock so that night will start again?" I don't know who has had that experience. I've had it uncountable times. I feel that day shouldn't come. You are hemmed in, left, right, and center. You don't know what to do. You are looking at the future. There is no future you are seeing. All you are seeing is the problem. All you are seeing is the circumstance. And the point is that at those points, there might not be one. There might be multiple. And you're looking at this one, you're looking at the one, you say, "How do I even start?" But David said something very, very powerful. He said, "You have freed me when I was hemmed in." So a season of when we are hemmed in is a season of freedom. What it means is that when you come out of that state, you can never be before that state. You have outgrown that state. He said, "When I was in distress, you have freed me when I was hemmed in, and enlarged me when I was in distress." So which means that a time of distress is a time of enlargement. I am telling you. And when you listen to somebody like that, when you read the Psalms, read his stories, you tell me you know that he is overqualified. He has more than PhD to talk on that. He said, "You have enlarged me when I was in distress." Seasons of distress, gentlemen and ladies, are seasons of enlargement. When I was meditating on the scripture this morning, the first thing that came to my heart was what happened when the guy took the BRT bus money and disappeared. I was asking myself, how I go pay 1.61 no chop? You know, you don't even know where to start. I will say, okay, let me just leave it. I will remember that I signed a 17-page document. When the contract that was given to me, it was 17 pages. No escaping this one. I said, how do I start? I went to Lack Boss. I said, how do I start? They said, "Oga, to touch any of these boss, you must pay money." I explained and they explained. The guy told me, "Oga, I understand what you're saying. I see that every day. But to touch any of these bosses, you must pay money." I got home that day. It was in the afternoon. I parked my car and I slept. You know, there are certain things that happen. You go to sleep with the hope that when you wake up, that you might have been Alice in Wonderland or you were dreaming. I woke up. But when I turned and I saw the teller to pay the money into it, I knew it wasn't a dream, that this is for real. The following morning I went, collected some money, paid, and I started the work. It was one of the most distressful times I've experienced. Like saying I may chop the money to be a different thing. But over a period of time, I learned how to run it. And so one of those days I was meditating on it. So when I read this scripture, it said, you have freed me when I was MDing. You enlarged me when I was in distress. One thing, I knew how to run projects like that. But then in my mind, I would say, but God, there should be more to it. It's not just a question of freedom. It's not just a question of completing the project. You gave me your word in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 10 to 16, that it is nothing but a light affliction that worketh for me a far more eternal weight of glory. See, I never see the glory. It was one of those days a thought entered in my heart. You know how to do this. There are companies that need your services. And I started moving around. You all know the story, how various projects came. And so when I remember what Ayo did, I tell God that I thank him that he sent an angel. Initially, I used to call Ayo a demon. But after the experience, Ayo turned around and became an angel. I say, God, I thank you for Angel Ayo. As a matter of fact, I've not seen the guy since 2012, but any day I see the guy, I'll buy him lunch. With all my heart. Because what he did was that he opened a new channel for me. That's what the Lord is saying. That place of distress is a place of enlargement. That place of distress is a place of enlargement. It is a place of enlargement. Because there are things, mourning over it can't change it. There's no amount of mourning that would have prevented me from running the project. So I said, what do? I took the first step. As I took the first step, it went. I took the second step. And so you need to bring your heart to a place of alignment, that this thing is working out for my good, that this is a place of enlargement. And so whenever issues arise in my space, my first response is praise. I tell God that this is nothing but a light affliction that has worked out for me a far more eternal weight of glory. So it's my anthem, it's my default response. And when I have made that declaration over a period of time, I ask myself, what next? And whatever I see that is the next action, I start taking it day by day. There's nobody that doesn't go through it. There's nobody. Even some of these people that you look at, you want to be like CJ. There's no time you talk with him, he doesn't talk about Warren Buffett. If he tells you his own on a daily basis, everybody goes through the same process. So, seasons of distress are seasons of enlargement of capacity. And what happens is that once you outgrow a level, when issues in that line comes, your heart doesn't beat. Because you have enlarged, you have your mind like elastic has grown beyond that part. So anytime issue arises, it is an opportunity for your mind to enlarge. It is an opportunity for your capacity to enlarge. So if there's anything in your space that when you look back, you're still sad about it, what it means is that you didn't work out the eternal weight of glory inside it. There are things that I still remember today, and I feel sad. I tell myself it is a lack of understanding on how to handle the affairs of life. I remember the platform that you people talk about today, viewership all over the world. I remember that year, the stage has been set. National TBS. All the speakers have been approached. Letters written. I think it was just some days or so. Government said they want to do the 60th anniversary of Nigeria's independence there. And then the convener was saying he was thinking about it, saying he's going to cancel the event. But then he went into his closet and began to worship, began to talk to the Lord, began to give him thanks and praise. And the next thing, he was in a conversation with his friends, and one of them said, why don't you turn it to a media event? He asked, what do you mean? He said, how many people watch the European League? He told him millions. He said, how many people are in the pitch then? Why don't you turn it to a media event? That was how we turned it. Before you know it, DBS said they should come back. The government has changed his mind. He told them, no, we have moved on. And so today, the platform has a viewership all over the world. Period of distress, there are periods of enlargement. Everybody has his own story. You have your own story. You have your own story. It's for you to sit down and articulate that story. You'll find out that there are experiences that came at a point which has turned out to be platforms for enlargement. And that's why the Bible tells us not to despise the days of little beginning. To count our blessings, name them one by one. It will surprise you what the Lord has done. And so, gentlemen, this is a new week. It's another opportunity for us to enlarge our post. So whatever it is that is standing at your space now, be it official, be it personal, be it family, whatever it is, whether not the one where you bring upon yourself or the one where just come meet you, all of them are the same. We have the opportunity to turn it around for something good, something extraordinary. That tomorrow when you tell others your story, it will comfort them, it will give them hope. They will know that where they are standing is on holy ground, that there is greater things awaiting them.